and this is on CNN. CNN reports officials believe Brown University suspect may be inside storage unit. But when I went to Twitter to check on the update regarding this with this matter, and I will show you what I found under Brown University. This is what I found, and it reads: two Brown students killed in campus shooting December 13th. Sophomore Ella Cook from Alabama and freshman Mohammed Aziz, your excuse my pronunciation here, Yermozakov from Virginia died from gunshot wounds. And then breaking, the alleged suspect in the deadly Brown University shooting has been captured on surveillance camera at the Extra Space Storage in Salem, New Hampshire, and amid a massive multi-state manhunt involving the FBI and local police. Authorities are surrounding the site after locating a vehicle linked to the case, developing story here. And so now this is what's being reported here on CNN Live right now.
The ending circles around to likely what we've seen before, but we've really got to wait for authorities to tell us what the situation was that they found once they got inside there.
Yeah, and that's where Brian Todd is right now, as we're waiting to hear more on this front from the authorities and what they can say hours after this press conference was scheduled to happen. And Brian Todd, tell us the latest of what's happening inside the room.
Caitlin, we're told that this news conference will happen at approximately 9:30. They kept pushing it later and later, though, so we had obviously going to have some patience here. So it could start at 9:30, it could start maybe a little after that, but we do get the distinct impression it's going to start very soon. And as John and you were talking about, these are going to be some key dots that we're going to have to connect, and hopefully this news conference will allow us to do that. Clearly, where the suspect moved from Providence to the MIT area, if indeed these two cases are connected. And that could, again, the information on that could come very soon. How the person moved, the vehicle which they used, which John in his great reporting has really kind of connected with us. They believe that the vehicles in both cases were very similar, if not the same vehicle, and that the license plates did match. So some of those details hopefully will be pieced together in this news conference. And of course, the key detail that we hope to learn, the name. John had reported earlier today that they had identified the suspect and were seeking him. Well, it looks like things are coming to a resolution here, one way or the other. So we would hope that they would give us a name. Now, as far as the motive, that might be a little bit more tough to come by, given what the circumstances could be here. But if the person is alive, obviously, the motive could become a little more clear, a little more early. But if he is deceased, then that's going to be tougher to piece together. But again, the fact that these two cases possibly could be connected might make it a little easier for them to establish a motive.
Yeah, and Brian, do we know exactly who we're going to be hearing from at this press conference coming up? I know, because what we're hearing is that there's going to be two press conferences this evening in Rhode Island, another one in Boston. Obviously, there have been questions of this connection. Boston, obviously not far, and just a suburb basically outside of Salem. Do we know what we're going to hear from and who we're going to hear from in Rhode Island?
Well, Caitlin, we do expect to hear from the mayor of Providence, Brent Smiley. We do expect to hear, of course, from Oscar Perez, Colonel Oscar Perez. He's the chief of police of the Providence Police. We do expect that Ted Dox, the FBI special agent in charge in this area, will be here. Possibly Peter Nerona, the Attorney General from Rhode Island, who's been very good about giving information at these news conferences. Myself and other journalists saw the governor of Rhode Island, Dan McKee, come in here, as well as the president of Brown University, Christina Paxson. We saw her enter the building. So you'll see probably a lot of very important people up on that podium.
Okay, Brian Todd, we'll obviously check back in with you as we are waiting to learn more. John Miller, if you're still here with me, when it comes to the scene that we've been watching play out in Salem tonight, a heavy police presence surrounding this place where we believe this storage unit was linked to this individual. Do we know who it is that is actually there on the ground? Are there federal agents that we can see in terms of who's actually inside that facility?
So yes, we know that Providence police are on the scene. We know that the FBI is on the scene, and we know that
Yeah, what CNN is not reporting, Fox News is reporting, in that the suspected Brown University shooter was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, source says. Let me play what's here right now on Fox News on this alert that just came up 18 minutes ago. Bear with me.
Dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. We have a Fox News alert. A high-placed source has just told Fox News that the suspected shooter was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. We have a Fox News alert. A high-placed source has just...
Okay, we get it. I don't know why CNN isn't reporting that. Well, CNN obviously isn't reporting it because they can't confirm it, right? Or don't want to. CNN likes to be a lot more careful
of this
about these.
person's identity for some time, and that, you know, the number of things that this suspect did to avoid capture, to put distance between himself, you know, his awareness around this, you know, has been really interesting to watch. In that, you know, authorities, through an enormous effort at this case to bring this person into custody, and a lot of resources, a lot of technology. Look at the videos they came up with, look at the video canvas it took to do that, look at the map they were able to build. And yet, you know, it was a couple of witnesses in different places that came up with this car description, the connection between Boston Made by saying, well, wait a minute, is that the same car but different plates? How can we figure that out? A lot of that effort that was painstaking came together very quickly today and led to this kind of day-long manhunt.
Well, and we have focused so much, John, on just obviously what's been going on with the Brown University shooting and the students there who were killed. The MIT professor was something that, you know, I mean, initially because the authorities had said, we don't believe they're connected, had not gotten as much attention in terms of the suspect there. And so this revelation today that they are connected, potentially, and it sounds like we're about to hear a lot more from the authorities on that. I wonder, had you been hearing anything from your sources in days before this connection was made, saying that there is something here, or had they not been on that track at all?
Well, they looked into it immediately. The Ted Docs, the special agent in charge of the Boston field office, you know, contacted the Massachusetts State Police, who was in touch with the Brookline Police, and they delved into it. And the nature of the two crimes, one a mass shooting, one a particularly targeted shooting to an individual, I guess we're going to our press conference now, were so different that they didn't appear connected immediately. But it's the investigation that brought them together.
Yeah. And obviously we'll wait to see if these officials here in Rhode Island have what information they have. And I should note to our viewers that what we're about to hear from officials, this is a press conference that we thought was going to happen 5.5 hours ago. It's now expected to happen here 9:34 p.m. Eastern, and we're waiting to hear from those officials that Brian just mentioned. We are also expecting a press conference to happen in Boston tonight as well on this exact connection here potentially that has happened and what that could look like. So we'll be watching obviously both of these very closely to see what officials have to say. Let's listen in.
Good evening, everybody. Tonight, our Providence neighbors can finally breathe a little easier. In a minute, Colonel Perez will share the latest details on the investigation. But I want to thank the people of Providence for stepping up and coming together during an extraordinarily difficult time. I know this has been hard on all of us. Over the past 5 days, minutes have felt like hours. But the people of Providence have done what we're best at. We've leaned on one another, come together and supported one another, and showed the nation what a tight-knit community looks like. It was because of the information provided to us by neighbors and the tireless work of our Providence Police Department, the Rhode Island State Police, the FBI, the ATF, and many other federal partners. The incredible prosecutorial advice and guidance that we received from the Attorney General's office, we all worked well together to be able to identify this suspect. I know we will have a lot of questions still, and we will continue to work to get those answers. But it is a great honor for me to turn this over to our Chief of Police, Colonel Oscar Perez, and I will say on behalf of the people of Providence, we owe him and every member of the Providence Police Department the deepest debt of gratitude. Colonel?
Thank you very much, Mayor. Well, first and foremost, I want to offer my deepest condolences to the families, the victims. It was for them that this work was put together to make sure that they get the justice that they deserve and to ensure that this person was held accountable. Second thing I'll tell you is that I'm extremely proud of this department, actually the officers, the detectives, the real-time crime center, the community response team, the intelligence division, the narcotics division, the task force. This past Saturday, as you all know, December 13th, Providence Police Department and Brown University Police Department responded to this horrific tragedy at Brown University 184 Hope. Our officers were there within minutes. That same day, Providence Police detectives immediately went to work. Looking for video footage to see who this individual was and who was responsible. A person of interest was identified from that video footage. The person of interest was observed down Hope Street, turning onto Waterman Street, and that was one of the first videos that we released. At the same time, every federal agency you can think of was reaching out to the Providence Police Department and responded to the capital city. Images were shared with media within hours. Persons of interest it was the same individual that has been the focus of this investigation since the beginning. All the new images that we received of this person of interest were shared with the media continuously over the past 6 days. This critical evidence was collected with the use of public assistance. As the mayor stated, I'm proud to be the chief of police of this city. I'm proud to be a product of this city for the reasons that the mayor stated. The community stepped up. It was all about groundwork, public assistance, interviews of individuals, and good old-fashioned policing. That is the type of police work that every police officer in this nation reminds themselves of, and that many do not understand. And that is critically important and often succeeds where technology alone cannot. We looked at financial records, we looked at video footages, and in the specific incident, it was actually a video that provided us with a description of a vehicle. That was corroborated to a tip that was received to the tip center. That room was packed with detectives, agents, receiving calls on a daily basis. We started early and left late. Then Flock and the LPR was able to provide us with this description of this vehicle. That vehicle was picked up by Flock, which led us to a car rental place in Massachusetts. Through that, the agents and their work as well were able to get us footage.
Hey, this guy, they say here,
as well as a
the
copy
law
of the
enforcement
agreement,
source
which
tells
provided
me
his real name.
the suspect is originally from
The video of that
Portugal,
subject
the same
matched the
country where the
description
MIT
of
professor
that
who was
person of
killed
interest that this police
is
department
from. Portugal.
was desperate to put handcuffs on.
He's not a U.S. citizen, but a legal permanent
As
resident.
Claudio Neves Valenti, date of birth, and he was a 48-year-old man.
48-year-old man.
He was a Brown student. He was a Portuguese national.
He's a Brown
And his
student.
last name, known address was in Miami, Florida. And I will tell you that he took his own life tonight. We have members of the Providence Police Department up at Salem, New Hampshire.
And we also have the BCI unit, obviously the FBI and their evidence recovery unit is up there. So the process is being conducted as we speak. And it goes without saying that I would like to personally thank the efforts again of the Providence Police Department, the Rhode Island State Police, the Rhode Island Attorney General, the FBI, the ATF, HSI, the U.S. Marshals, IRS.
Here's the person. His name is 20-year-old Mustafa Carbo. Has been identified as a suspect in the December 13th shooting. And they said he was a suspect, said that he was from Lebanon. But however, that's not the person that was described here, all right, at all. So let's go latest. It was a Brown University student, a Portuguese national, who was the shooter. He was a student at Brown, and he's 48 years old, and his name is Claudio Valente, a Portuguese national and student at Brown University, was identified as the shooter. Claudio Valente. So let's take his name here, Claudio Valente, like this. Copy and paste here and see what we learn. That's not coming up, right? And breaking: Claudio Valente, a Portuguese student at Brown University, has been identified. 48-year-old Portuguese national from Miami, Florida. Authorities say he was found in a storage unit dead by suicide. Claudio Valente. All right. The Rhode Island Attorney General has this announcement.
Young people who were hurt, injured, or worse, or two of them are now deceased. To me, this was always going to be an investigation where something was going to break it open. We were going to pull threads. We were going to gather evidence that would lead us in a particular direction. And I will say that if we were with you less than, well, I guess now more than 24 hours ago, we had that picture of that second individual. And I would say within an hour, no more than two, I think it was under an hour, that person came forward to two Providence police officers over on the east side and said he had information, that he was that person and he had information that could help this case. And I remember last night watching his interview, and he blew this case right open. He blew it open. And that's how these cases sometimes go. You can feel like you're not making a lot of progress. You can feel like you're chasing leads and they don't work out. But the team keeps going because, those of us with experience know that you're going to pull a lot of threads, and it's not always the first one that's going to get you where you need to go. But when you do crack it, you crack it. And that person led us to the car, which led us to the name, which led us to the photographs of that individual renting the car, which matched the clothing of our shooter here in Providence, that matched the satchel that we see here in Providence. He was found dead with a satchel, with two firearms, and evidence in the car that that matches exactly what we see at the scene here in Providence. And so I know that you and the public have questions about how we got from a place yesterday where all we could share with you was a photograph of someone we wanted to talk to where we got to tonight. And so we got an state arrest warrant for murder today that was signed by a district court judge for this individual. There won't be a prosecution hours, but that affidavit is on our website, and you will be able to see more and read more about how this investigation unfolded. I won't get you all the way there because there are some things that happened afterwards which led us to this suspect's body in New Hampshire. But it will, I think, tell you, give you a sense of the work that went into this by the line prosecutors and the line agents and detectives from the agencies that work so well together. So, as I said, it's with mixed emotions. It is unimaginable the pain that the parents and families of the deceased are feeling tonight and will feel undoubtedly for quite a while. But I hope that by bringing this person to justice, that we can at least give them the beginnings of some measure of closure. And I want to thank you all for your patience with me when I got a little testy with some of you. Those of you who know me from Rhode Island, you know that's my nature. So I really want to thank you for your patience. Thank you.
Gerald, as has been said several times, the partnership with the FBI was invaluable. And so it's a pleasure to introduce Special Agent in charge of FBI, Ted Dox.
Thank you, Mayor. And good evening. My name is Ted Dox, Special Agent in charge of FBI Boston. We got him. Shortly before 9 o'clock tonight, the FBI SWAT team executed court-authorized search warrants at a storage unit facility in Hampshire Road in Salem, New Hampshire. This is where we located Claudio Neves Valente, the individual who we believe was responsible for the Brown shooting. The latest developments in an intense 5-day manhunt, and as a result of an incredible amount of work dedicated by the law enforcement team standing here before me tonight. Every single agency brought their unique skills and expertise to this investigation. And we're motivated by the victims and survivors of this horrific incident. Even though the suspect was found dead tonight, our work is not done. There are many questions that need to be answered. There's a lot of evidence that needs to be processed, and most importantly, the victims and their families deserve special care and consideration. The FBI and our partners across Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire will continue to search for answers for the victims.
So I put that because, first of all, the FBI gentleman, Special Agent in charge, Ted Dox, said, we got him. They didn't get him. Claudio Valente committed suicide. And I don't know why the FBI under Kash Patel has this policy of yelling, we got him, when, in point of fact, they didn't get him, they found him. They should just simply stick to what happened. I went to do a quick search for any information on Claudio Valente on Instagram, on Facebook. I haven't found anything that is concrete about this person. So that's the next step, is to figure out who this person was. Well, really is, because I believe even the dead are still alive. And what motivated him to do what he did. That will emerge. So right now, I'm going to close this press conference because I just said what they said. We have to find out more information. Here's the mayor of Providence, Rhode Island.
The ATF, Tom Greco.
Good evening. My name is Tom Greco, Special Agent in charge of ATF Boston. From the moment 911 reports of the shooting at Brown University came through, there's been an around-the-clock effort to identify the perpetrator and to protect the community. The men and women of ATF, including our special agents, our intelligence research specialists...
They're doing a lot of I think it's inappropriate, but chest thumping, because the real tragedy is that this person, who obviously is mentally ill, killed 2 people and then killed himself. What work they claim that they did is secondary, and I don't think that's the story at all. So I'm going to close this because right now it feels like an awful PR campaign to save somebody's political skin. That's what it feels like to me at this point. I think it's awful. All right. Subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube and bookmark ZennyReport.com. Thanks.